Um, Good afternoon. My name is Pon Chai. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Law, Chiang Mai University. It will be my great pleasure to speak about regulation, competition, and innovation. Basing on my research and my study relating to um, law and regulation, which governs the market and competition plus innovation, I think that it's worth study um, the before making to understanding about regulation, competition, and innovation. We have to understand the practical and theory of regulation first. I think basing on my research, there are two two main types of regulation or laws that can be applied basing on the theory of economic regulation. The first thing is we call the public interest theory, which is the regulation is created by the intention to make the publics better. In this sense, law or regulation worth improvement for the society or for the market. However, since we learn a lot about the use of law and regulation from the states or from the political parties or from the government, we've seen a lot of issue about law and regulation, which is not only purely for the public interest, but the regulation by itself captured by the interest group or the stakeholder who have more information, who can negotiate easily with the government or with the parliament. So in this sense, the regulation can be both public interest and it can be subject to the capture theory by we call Stigler. And I think it's with relating to the law and regulation, I think it's important that we have to learn how law and regulation create a barrier for the market and barrier for innovation. Then after the theory, there's two theories that I think is important. Then the two theories can be merged because in reality, no one can easily influence the government to issue any law. The public by itself have to bargain with the interest groups who has more power, and then the government will issue any law and regulation which helps which helps balance the interest between the public and interest group. Then the regulation or laws can become the creator of innovation or competition by that bargaining powers. I give you one example. It's about the disruptive technology on any energy sector. Then the government has to realize that they cannot use the traditional type of regulation in order to maintain their stability or the security of the energy sector. Because we have new solar power and we have blockchains and we have disruptive technology, then the government has to change the law in order to support the new innovation and of course to reduce the barrier for the new technology to enter the market. However, in reality, the regulation and the laws still the government still maintain regulation and the laws as to make sure that the regulation can create the benefits on the return to the power plant, which governments aim to use that's at the security or the stability of the energy sector. So this kind of thing is between the balance between how governments use law and regulation in order to support or sometimes to maintain the traditional market or the traditional energy sector before the new technology can come up. And this happens in all sectors, in hotels, in telecommunication, in energy sector, or the other sectors that has been disrupted by the new technology, especially for example in the contract. Because I teach in international trade law, and I think that it's important that normally we have to use the letter of credit in order to issue or to make the payment for the seller and the buyers. However, with the new technology has come, then you don't have to use the LC or letter of credit because you can use the blockchain or you can use the token. And then that token can refer back and trace back by the blockchain to the quality of the products that has to be sold according to the contract. So this is kind of a new change. However, of course, the payments by the blockchain or by the token in the blockchain or by any system of the disruptive technology is not easily accepted by the government. Then what I have observed is that the government tend to use this we call the sandbox. The sandbox can be a good choice. However, the sandbox is just a sandbox. It's not the regulation by itself. The government then, they protect by sometimes they protect the banking system by not issuing or by not permitting directly the new technology to replace the old banking system. So this is kind of a thing that I think is important we have to see in the future. I will stop by here, but if you have any question, I would be glad to answer your question. And I also delighted if I can be part of your research about regulation, competition, and innovation. I think it's worth understanding because now government had to change a lot. Change what? Change law and policy or regulation that they have to use in order to maintain the innovation and competition in the market. I will stop by here. Bye bye. Thank you.